Valve just dropped a brand new update called the Rio MVP. It comes with 5 new maps: Assembly, Memento, Thera, Mills, and Pool Day. They dropped this blog post which introduces each of the maps, but also at the bottom of the blog post, they say, "Speaking of competitive matchmaking, we've given map-based skill groups an overhaul. In addition to redistributing players across the skill groups, we've also made it easier to earn those badges in the first place." There are a bunch of other fixes and adjustments in today's update, including a brand new MVP panel and new ways to optimize your video settings. So let's go over each of these changes. This video is partnered with SkinPlace, the easiest way for you to cash out your skins, as once you sign in and pick the items you want to sell, you just choose from different delivery methods. Once you pick the one you like and click receive money, it won't be long until you see the payment in your account. All you need to do is use code WATER for an extra 3% when you cash out your skins. They even have a bonus system, so the more you sell, the more you earn. Check out SkinPlace today. Going into the official patch notes, they introduced the new maps, but also a few fixes to existing ones. The MVP panels got updated and have a brand new look in game. They also changed the MVP conditions and rules. The new MVP panel looks pretty nice in my opinion, especially with the ones I have seen that change depending on the MVP you get. The new MVPs are still pretty similar to what they were before, just a bit more specific. For competitive, they now give you a rank after 2 wins, which before you would need to get 10 wins just on one map. They don't really go in depth on all the changes for map-based ranks, but from the official blog post, they do confirm that an overhaul took place, which will hopefully fix the existing problems that it had. Let me know how your ranks are after the new update and if you are still stuck or if progress has been made for matchmaking. Now, there's also a few new settings. For example, you may notice that you have a pop-up if your refresh rate is below the maximum when you are starting up the game. They also removed a setting which didn't even work properly in CS2, and now when you look in your advanced video settings tab, there is now frame pacing that has an NVIDIA G-Sync setting, which tells you whether or not G-Sync is active, but there's also a maximum and minimum FPS slider, which controls your FPS_max commands. So this is the CS25 update, and although it didn't come with an operation, this update did come with many changes which hopefully improve the quality of the game, like the competitive rank overhaul for map-based skill groups. This is if it works properly now, which will be an overall nice change. We have talked many times about this problem before, how when you would play competitive, you pretty much were hard stuck from reaching any of the top ranks, and everyone was stuck in either silver or gold Nova. It's also nice that we get brand new maps that are officially in the game. If you're curious what the map makers were given by Valve, well, this is the new CS2 token. It's nice to see that Valve is adding these community maps into the game, although that it is not a full-blown operation. Hopefully this trend continues with more and more updates like this in the future. Some players don't seem to be happy that no operation dropped, seeing as that was heavily hyped up, and now we are past 1,000 days. The one thing that Valve did tease to us was Danger Zone last week. They had an update to the localization files specifically for Danger Zone. So is that maybe what Valve is planning next? Of course, this update didn't even change the seasons for Premier, but Valve did attack the competitive matchmaking problem, so maybe next update focuses on Premier. Now, a bunch of people are out there playing their games trying to get ranked, so when we go ahead and look at some of the newer ranked players and what the top ranked players are now, you notice, well, one player has already reached Supreme Master First Class, which is a pretty nice improvement, as when you look at his stats, you notice he used to be somewhere around MG to Gold Nova Master, but then once the new update hit, it seems like he got placed up at Supreme Master First Class. Now we can go ahead and look at some other people which recently got ranked. So let's look at the number 2 player currently, where you notice this player has very similar things. They're around Gold Nova Master to MG, and then today went all the way up to where they hit Legendary Eagle Master. So feel free to let me know how the new rank placements treated you. Around 1 month ago, we talked about in 2024, Valve is doing roughly one large update / blog post a month, and it could just be some wild coincidence, but this new update lines up with that, so maybe Valve just isn't ready for the operation release yet. Now that the map has officially released, let's point out that on the new map of Pool Day, there is a switch that you can use that teleports you back to the 1.6 version of the map. Overall, I'm glad we got an update like this, with finally new maps, some for casual, some for competitive, and then also a bunch of steps in the right direction to fix the issues in the game. If you were hoping for a new case or more, well, this update doesn't seem to be it, so maybe we just have to wait for next month for that. The one thing though is that Valve completely ignored the 25th anniversary in this blog post and didn't mention it at all. The only time they did mention it was last week on Twitter. So the CS25 update is here, or at least what was expected from it, and it may not come with everything you wanted, but at least we got something.